Hey, hello fans. So today we are going to do the squad analysis and team ratings of Bangla Tigers and Sri Lankan Lions. So far we have done 8 teams and then still India stands on top with 82 points. Let's see how Bangla and Sri Lanka fare. So let's talk about the highlights for Bangladesh. They have created upsets in the past, upsetting India in 2007 and a major upset to England in 2015. But till now, they have not gone to the semi-finals of the World Cup at all. So what will they do this time? So what are your highlights for Bangladesh?
So my highlights is Bangladesh is basically a team of both youngsters and a little core players who have played World Cup in the past. So it's about how they gel up as a combination. Another thing is injuries, especially the bowling unit. If you see in the past, you have seen injuries cropping up here and there, especially Tuskin Ahmed is part of injury list most of the times. Mustafizur Rahman, a brilliant death over bowler. Again, injury concerns. So how Bangladesh will cope up the injuries is a major highlight for me. The last thing is Tamim Iqbal.
Right.
The situation around him. It's a complete debate that's happening around. So these are the little highlights for me.
And then lastly, I think Shakib is the overall, the one who gathers the team, and he was the top run getter for them in 2019. And yes, Shakib Al Hasan is my X factor. He is the captain leading from the front, and he does the heavy lifting all the time. So what is your X factor for Bangladesh?
So it's a no-brainer for most of us that Shakib is one of the X factors. But here I pick another X factor, especially with his form coming into this World Cup from the Asia Cup. Shanto, a brilliant left-hand batsman. I am expecting a special knock from him in this World Cup.
Yes, Bangladesh batting, right? They have Liton Das up the order, and then Shanto X factor for you, followed up by the young Hrudoy. But still, they don't have the experience. We saw it in the Asia Cup recently. Overall, for me, their batting is pretty substandard, and I would give a 6 for him.
Okay. So even I feel the same. There is Shakib Mushfiqur in the middle order, but we need heavy support for Shanto. Shanto has been playing really well, but if you don't have that support in the top order, it can falter anytime. So even I would go by a 6 out of 10 in terms of batting.
Right. So going to the bowling department, right? A lot of injury concerns. Mustafizur, he should be fit for them. That is their main bowler. And then they have a couple of Mehdis spinning the ball for them. Overall, again, with the injuries and and some part-time spinners as well for them. So overall, the bowling is 6.5 in my opinion. What do you think?
So I feel bowling takes a little precedence over batting in this squad. The strength is a bit more in terms of bowling. Injury concerns are a factor, but keeping that aside, especially with Tuskin, Mustafizur, Shakib, Mehdi, I would rate a 7 out of 10 for this squad. That's my opinion.
So, okay, coming to the all-rounders, right? We are talking about Shakib Al Hasan again. He's the main guy. But they do have Mehdi, and then Mohammedullah can chip in as well. Again, they don't have the quality all-rounders this time to pull it off. Really, all-rounders do matter, in these big tournaments, in ICC tournaments, if they have to go the extra mile, right?
Yeah.
So for me, all-rounders, I'll give them a rating of 6.5.
Okay, so I agree. Shakib is the prominent one here. All-rounders matter a lot in one-day cricket. Okay. When it comes to that, Bangladesh lacks another core all-rounder in their team. So my rating also is very much closer. I would give it's 6 out of 10 for me.
So going to fielding, right? I think looking at the youngsters, I am expecting some good fielding from them. That is the reason I'm going to give them a 7. I want them to field well and then take those pressure catches. So that's a 7 for me for fielding.
For me, it's straightforward, a 6 out of 10. Nothing much I've seen. So that's my rating.
Yeah, so now going to the squad balance for Bangladesh. not a great batting unit. Again, 6 bowlers have been selected in the squad with again a shaky all-round department. For me, overall, Bangladesh would fetch 6.5 in the rating.
Yeah, looks unbalanced to me as well.
Yeah.
So I would rate them a 6 out of 10.
So the Bangla Tigers have an overall rating of 63.5, just below first class.
So guys, do you think this rating actually is worth coming down? Now let's move on to the Lankan squad. So moving on to the Lankan Lions squad. One-time champion, two-time finalist during their golden era. What a team. A team that was weeping tears a year ago made a comeback and dominated in the World Cup qualifiers. Played a great knock in the Asia Cup. Reached the finals beating Pakistan. A team that has been put into real test in this World Cup facing big guns. What are your highlights?
Yeah, so for Lanka, I think in ICC tournaments, they pull off those wins. They are brilliant under pressure. For Lanka, I would say from recently coming from the Asia Cup, Samaravikrama, a great middle order batsman find for the Lankans. And then definitely Pathum Nissanka, who will, has to get the runs up front. So for me, the batting is pretty good. What they lack is their bowlers. Especially that Mahesh Tikshna is a travelling reserve. He's still injured, right? And then in the middle order as well, there are some hiccups for them. So that is my highlights for the Lankans.
So moving to the X factor in this squad, for me, it is going to be Pathum Nissanka, the opening batsman. I would like him to score big runs. He was doing really great before the Asia Cup. However, there was some downs in the Asia Cup. I would want him to step up and support Kusal Mendes and Samaravikrama at the top. And what is your X factor?
For me, I think Matisha Patirana, again, I think the youngster showing so much maturity, coming from the Asia Cup and still performing at that highest level. So for me, Matisha Patirana, and I'm also looking forward for Dunit Velalage.
Ah, nice. Patirana is someone Dhoni called for. Now let's look at the squad in depth. Let's start with batting. So there are some prominent players there. Kusal Mendes, Pathum Nissanka, Samaravikrama, as you mentioned, in the middle order. So I'm expecting a good flow of runs from these batters in this tournament. Also, there are players like Srilanka who can chip in with some runs in the death overs. So I would rate their batting about 7 out of 10. What about you?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think I had the same number in mind. These are the batsmen who will chip in. They are the batsmen who have to step up in the major tournament now. Definitely, even I'm rating them 7.
The bowling attack would be led by Rajita, Kumara, then we have Patirana, then Madhushanka, along with Velalage. So bowling looks a little off track because of the young attack in them. So I would rate them a little less than the batting unit, about 6.5 out of 10. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think less than the batting unit. Like you said, Hasaranga is a major miss. And then Tikshna also is a travelling reserve. He's not yet fit. So these two bowlers were getting the major number of wickets for Sri Lanka. And that's a miss out. So the bowling department, I would rate them.
So coming to the all-rounders list, we have Darshan Chanaka and Dhananjaya De Silva. But there hasn't been any major performances consistently from these guys. Dhananjaya De Silva has chipped in with runs here and there, but I see this unit being not up to the par. So my rating for the all-rounder would be a 5.5 out of 10.
Yeah, so that's right. I think Velalage is a recent find in the all-rounder department for them. He can bat. And then their latest find, Charit Asalanka, I don't know, maybe he can be a good hand, but I really don't think Shanaka is an all-rounder at all. But I would give them a total of 6 for all-rounders.
Moving on to the fielding unit, it's been a decent fielding unit, I would say. They have had their own ups and downs in terms of fielding. So it would be a straight 6 out of 10 for me.
Okay. Fielding for me, yes, they are good fielders, and considering a young squad, I would give them a 7.
Okay. Sum up these ratings and moving on to how the squad is balanced, I feel batting power is more when compared to bowling attack. So I would give a 6 out of 10 in terms of team balance.
Yeah, I think the all-rounder department is very young. They don't have experience, and the bowlers, as we mentioned, they are missing their key bowlers due to injuries. So I would give them a 6.5 in the overall squad balance.
Total rating for this Lankan squad is 63.5, which is equal to what we predicted for the Bangladeshi Tigers.
Still stays on top with 82 points. Let's see if they can go all the way.
Now that we have reviewed the team analysis and given some ratings to all the 10 teams, fans, it's your time to comment down your ratings. So until next video, stay tuned. Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon. Let's go Fundamentals.